Sahana vavatu Sahana bhunaktu Sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant, and may we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace, peace unto us all. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sairam to everyone. Welcome to the Satsang of the Sri Satya Sai Baba Center of Arcadia. Now we are going to continue our study circle on Gita Vahini, the commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, the dialogue between Lord Krishna and Arjuna. And online, I think is page 19, right? And in the book, it is hard copy is page 29. So we are going to start where the Atma does not die, the body does not stay. Does it correspond? This is here, it's 29. Is it 19? Right? So nobody is, I think you sent a message, right? Yeah? I think that's what did the message was today's thing in the Arcadia Center announcement, which was sent to everybody. Yeah. Yeah, that's where right away the answer could. That means attention to yoga, karma, sukhaushalam. Attention to detail is yoga. So whatever we read and whatever, that means we should be aware of what we have. That means we didn't read it. So anyway, so I'm not quizzing, but just whatever we do, we should do with full attention. So last week we connected how Lord Buddha's message with Bhagavad Gita, so many things common with things. Today we'll continue from where we stopped. So the time before we discussed about the four Mahavakyas, right? Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, Prajnanam, Brahma, Ayamatma, Brahma, from all the four Vedas, one from each Vedas. That is the essence of the Mahavakyas. So, and then we talked about who is the hero. Hero is the one who doesn't grieve, who doesn't have sorrow. So whenever we are grieving, we are sorrowful, we are dejected, depressed, anxiety, fear, we are not heroes, but we become zeros. So the thing is, by God's grace and by spiritual practices, everyone can become hero. That's what Lord Krishna is encouraging to Arjuna, who is such a great hero himself. He got so many divine weapons like Pashupatastra, so many things. But when he had encountered the challenge, facing the big battle, he was nervous and he wanted to go away, run away from the battle and lead a contemplative life, which is not his real nature. So similarly in life, when everything goes well, we are all happy and well. But when the challenges come, how do you face with courage, determination, happiness? That is the strength of our spiritual strength. That is the time really your spiritual strength shows up. So in our puja room, in Bhajan hall, everybody is very happy and calm. But really when the challenges come in the society, at work, in the family, how do you really handle them? That is the whole thing. That is what the whole secret of the teachings of Lord Krishna is. So we will continue on page 29, starting the Atma does not die. So please free to have discussion, comments, questions during the study circle.
The Atma.
Wait, she's raising the. Okay, go ahead. This is free. Feel free. This is not like a pravachanam or a discourse or class. Just that is where Swami says study circle, where the interaction and people's how we understand this and how we can clarify what we study. Sairam. Yeah, we can hear.
Sairam, the last two satsangs.
Is it not on?
Oh, no.
Is it good to leave it on, or just it's better only when they need? So everybody, so when you have microphone, just see the switch is on or not. These are all also the part of the yoga. Okay.
In last two satsangs, you said about especially last time, the similarities of Lord Buddha's, Krishna's, and Swami's. So the difference is, I know Swami said the Ekatvam, and also you just said about the Mahavakyam. Mm-hmm. That's one thing in Buddhas. I'm not that familiar with the Buddhas. What they call Sunyam is that they don't have that Mahavakya, the unity.
Yeah, that is why. So, for example, all these great masters come. Who is Lord Buddha? He was a Hindu prince. He grew up he knows Vedas. He grew up in Hindu culture. His father was the king in those times, the Nepal. So, but that time he was very disillusioned. People were reading the Vedas, but they were caught up more in the rituals. Even here we sometimes do. Why are we doing Arati? What is the purpose of doing Sarvadharma prayer? What is everything you need to go the analysis. Without that, the more they were focusing that time, there were animal sacrifices. If you kill this goat, you kill this cow, you will go to heaven, or you will get so much wealth. Even now, a lot of these people, the priest class, they will say there is a business. You do this, yajnam, yagam, you will get this. That's why one of my friends who is American, he was telling that time, 25 years ago, talking, Sri Suktam, there is one famous Suktam, which is good. There, he was telling, Lord, give me cows, give me horses, give me chariot, give me gold, and give me children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. So that just all the thing is, I want this, I want this, I want this. The business. That means I'm chanting the mother, you have to give me. There's nothing wrong in because it's our own mother, but you should have love for love's sake. So that is thing. So that coming back to Buddha, so he saw all that. People are following the letter of the scriptures, but not the spirit. What does it teach? It teaches compassion. So people who are violent, they are killing animals. So he says, Ahimsa paramo dharma, highest is practicing non-violence, thought, word, and deed. And then being truthful. People, they do all the yajnas, but they don't speak truth. And then love. People are not loving, but they all do this. In the name of religion, collect money and things. So he came not to take away the Hinduism, but to show the real meaning. In that, what happens is, he didn't deny God. Actually, Swami explained. People said, God is there, God is not there. He didn't say yes, God is there, yes. He didn't say yes. God is not there, he didn't say yes. He kept quiet. He says, why do you want to waste time in this? The real practical thing is, what does everybody want? Peace and happiness. So peace and happiness cannot come with the discussion where God is there, God is not there. Live the life. That is why I said, simple thing. Everybody can practice, even though they don't need the Vedas. Think good, think no evil. Hear good, hear no evil. Speak good, speak no evil. Do good, no evil. Be good. And so that is what he wanted to make it more practical instead of the high. But incorporates all the teaching. So he didn't say that God doesn't exist, But then subsequently there is the followers, philosophers, they came and interpreted like that. That is where the Shunyavadam comes. Because the very fact there is creation, there should be creator, right? How can something come without creation? So that was a wrong philosophy. But his message is very practical. And same thing happened at the time of Jesus. Who is Jesus? He was a Jew. Like Lord Buddha was a Hindu, and he was a Jewish carpenter's son. That is what Jesus was. But he also saw these Jewish people in the temple, in the name of religion. They were selling the birds and doing sacrifices, collecting money, making temples of worship, temples of business. They would do, like even here in India, a lot of temples, they do that, right? Transaction, you give $1,000, we do this special archana. You do $10,000, you will do this special thing. So you are doing business, you are counting this value for this much, this. That's sad. Even in Tirupati, the biggest temple, you do as if God needs marriage. You do marriage for 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, we'll do that. God doesn't, he is omniscient, omnipresent, he doesn't do that. But people are taking advantage and bringing down God to the human level. So that is why Lord Jesus, at the time, he went violent to the temple and he destroyed all the shops kind of thing in the temple they had. Hey, you are making not following the letter of the scripture, but he didn't deny the 10 commandments. The original things, even the same thing, Buddha. But how do you follow them? That they came, these great masters, because when you have scriptures, they need to follow it. Because all the Jews, they were not reading the things, but not following. So Jesus came, same thing. Lord Buddha came to show that. But these Mahavakyas are the most practical, because they're the reality, where they're selling, instead of God, the Father, thou art in heaven, or Lord Vishnu, you are only in Vaikunta, Shiva, only you are in Kailasa. Instead of that, he is right now here with us. He is not somewhere there, but he is here with us. And finally, not only here with us, you are that, you are the divine. You are searching for it all over because of ignorance, forgetting you are divine. That is the Mahavakyas. Tattvamasi means you are that. Aham Brahma means you are Brahman. I am Atma Brahma means I am Atma and Brahman. Prajnanam Brahma means awareness. So finally, all the messages is that we are divine. But at one stroke, we cannot go to that stage. That is why all the spiritual practices, first you get purity of the heart and get rid of the impurities. Then you come to realize you are that. Overnight, today I can say I am God, I am God. You may say that, but you really don't behave. You need to behave like God, right? You should have those divine qualities. So that is what the practice is. So Lord Buddha didn't deny it. So what his practical Vedanta, what they were doing is Sankhya philosophy and all those philosophy, they're more metaphysics. They describe how did the origin come, how did the creation come, what happens to the soul, where is the Atma. Instead of that, he gave beautiful example. Some of you are there, somebody struck an arrow on you, right? It is hit you. So what will the immediate thing should be? So common sense is take away the arrow so that you will die, otherwise you will die bleeding. The kinds of philosophers, what they do is the arrow, what speed it came. Is it 50 miles, 100 miles? What the tip up is made up of bronze or silver? And from which direction did it come? By the time he will die. So they analyze more on the philosophy without doing the practical. Best thing is when you are suffering, you remove it and get rid of the suffering. Similarly, in life, everybody go through pain and suffering. All people, saint or sinner, rich. So instead of philosophy, how to get rid of the suffering, how to be peaceful, how to be happy. That is what this practical philosophy of the Lord Buddha and even our Lord Krishna said the same thing, but people didn't follow it up. So it is really, Vedanta is more practical. How do you live in daily life? That is what Lord Krishna said. Does it answer your thing? It's a long answer, but I wanted to have a little discussion on that.
I want to add one thing. I pondered over this particular thing sometime when I was little. When I heard the discourse of Swami, everything is nothing, nothing is everything, then I thought, try to one time I had a discussion with Dr. Reddy's father, Adi Reddy Tata. So he gave a wonderful explanation about this. Everything is nothing, nothing is everything is. His usual example is he talks about a screen where everything is going on. And you in the theater, you see all the stuff going on. That's everything. And everything stops, then it's nothing. There's nothing there. So it's nothing is like shunyam. So everything goes on. So Swami is saying everything is nothing, nothing is everything. But one important thing to realize is that in that nothingness, you will see the foundation of where all these things are happening, which is the screen itself, which is Swami, or the foundation, the Atma, what we talk about. And basically, Buddha's statement of shunyam, he's talking about this nothingness, zero. Then it is just basically, it is easier for you to realize that foundation and relate to it. This is one thing that just wanted to share.
Yeah, actually, that will be more pessimistic. Like that's why even Buddha first noble truth is anityam asukam. This is all full of temporary and suffering. Then you become pessimistic. What is there in life? But that is not the thing. Then he said there is the end for suffering. You can end the suffering. That is what it is. The example he was talking about. You put this one classical example is screen, which is Brahman. That is really basis of everything is Brahman. So the pictures, what we see, this whole world, yes, is what exists. One boy said the father took him to the movie. He says everything basis is screen. Everything is pictures. So as soon as already movie started, he says, where is the basis? Because he's seeing the floods, he's seeing fire, he's somebody fighting, everything is going on, seeing the picture. He didn't say, where is it? Where is that screen? He says, it is there. Where is the screen? I don't see it, because as long as you are focused on the pictures, you don't see the screen. Once the pictures stop, then the screen you see. Similarly, as long as we are entangled in this show, this whole world, which is a real show, this is the show of the greatest magician of the Lord. So you get caught up, you forget the truth. So the whole thing is, that is to be convinced, this whole thing is, night we go through, Swami told me, and this is scripture say, night white everybody goes through, night dream, everybody. But this daytime is also a dream, daydream. That is the conviction we don't have. We take it very real. But this is as much a dream as in the night. Like Ramana Maharshi, people who awaken in a flash, that is why they don't care. This is also a dream. What is their being? So the minute you go into the night dream, this is all disappears. So that experience comes only of repeated contemplation, spiritual practices. And once the reality you realize, then everything is secondary. Yeah.
Today I was, we all go through attachments, issues and pain and all of that. So I was thinking, Swami, I have to detach myself. I have to detach myself from some situation. And then this thought came into me. I said, don't try to detach. Just if we are constantly being present in that awareness, that universal consciousness, that everything is happening for a reason, for a higher learning, for growth, and if we are connected to that consciousness, automatically that consciousness will help us to transform and get rid of whatever we don't need. So all we need to do is connect to the higher understanding or higher wisdom or God or whichever that will raise our consciousness.
Yeah, that is it. If you don't try to detach, you automatically attach to God, you will be detached from the world. The reason is always our mind works, some thoughts will be there. You'll be thinking about your work, or you will be thinking about your family, or somebody who is trying to bother you, so many things. So, but once you go on saying Om Namah Shivaya, or Om Sri Sai Ram, or thinking about it, that time, where is your mind? Your mind is with God. Automatically, you don't need to try hard to detach. When you try hard to detach, that will chase you more. So as long as you're attached, like when you sing the bhajans and we're discussing about God, when you're involved in satsang, that time you're completely absorbed in that. You don't even think about all those things. So the whole secret is don't try hard to detach. Be attached to God, automatically you'll be detached. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa is a beautiful example. You are going to the sea, you are going towards the seashore, automatically the breeze comes. That is divine grace, you think. So you don't need to worry about. So automatically you go towards God, you are away from the world. But you are still trying to get entangled in the world, still want to have so-called worldly pleasures. You will never achieve that state because your mind is always in those thoughts. So as much as possible, this control of the senses and getting detached is very important. So as Jesus said, God and mammon cannot go together. You can't serve two masters. You can, if somebody thinks I'll have good time having fun, so-called sense pleasures, realize God is, the Swami said, it is impossible. It is like putting a camel through the eye of a needle. You cannot do that. So people imagine, I will do this, go in temple, do this thing at such level, realize God. You cannot. You may have, but sure, in 10 lifetimes maybe, but you have to go many lifetimes you have to go through. But in this lifetime, to be intense, you should have that one-pointed thing to God. Okay, good. I'm happy we had some discussion. That's what it is. It is not just nothing we want to hear from different people. Thoughts. Go ahead.
The Atma does not die. The body does not stay. Do you think that your grief at their possible death will make the Atma of your opponents happy? That is an insane thought. The Atma does not derive joy or grief. Whatever happens or does not happen, let the senses keep to their places. There is no reason to fear. It is only when they start contacts with objects that the twin distractions, joy and grief, get produced. When you hear someone defaming you, you feel anger and grief. But no such agitation can take place if the words do not fall on your ears. The object-word movement of the senses is the cause of grief and its twin joy. It is like heat and cold. When it is the cold season, you crave for warmth, and in the hot season, you crave for coolness. The sense-object contact is exactly like this. So long as the world is there, objective contact cannot be avoided. So long as the burden of previous births is there, the joy-grief complex cannot be avoided. Still, one can master the art, the discipline, the secret of avoiding them or bearing them without bother.
You continue one more, that paragraph is continuation of that.
Of what use is it to wait till the waves are silenced before you wade into the sea for a bath? They will never cease. The wise man learns the trick of avoiding the blow of the onrushing wave and the drag of the receding wave. But a sea bath is essential. Some people avoid that very thing because they are too idle to learn the art. Arjuna wear the armor of fortitude, of titiksha, and the blows of good and bad fortune can never harm you.
Yeah.
So Swami is very emphatically and clear about one thing. So Atma is permanent. He says Atma does not die. That is, there's no birth or death for Atma. The body does not stay. That means its body is impermanent. So that's first thing to identify what is permanent and what is impermanent. The moment we associate, once we understand that, then we don't go through this duality of joy and grief and all those pairs of opposites. And to go beyond that, that's the whole secret of it. And Swami says it is possible. He's very clear about it. He says one can master this by discipline of secret, avoiding them. He says that too. So it is, and then he's also telling Arjuna about, develop that armor of fortitude, and arise and basically face it, because you need to take a bath in the ocean. One thing that immediately I thought about is this. Swami is always in the discourses, he mentions about, we always say, it is my shirt, my body, my hand, my head. Then Swami used to say, it's my head, then what? This is your head, but who are you? This is your, shirt, then who are you? It's your shirt. So if you go on asking that question, who am I? That's what Swami is trying to, tell us that question should be asked instead of asking everybody else, hey, how are you? Who are you? You go on asking, who am I? Then that is the solution. But it's a constant discipline to ask that question and establish in that state of consciousness, which we discussed just now.
Yes, so that Swami gave the nice example here. The ocean, we want to go to the sea. You says, okay, somebody says, let's go for a swim. No, let the waves stop, they will come. So somebody says, then we go on watching, these waves will never stop. Similarly, in spirituality, you start early. Like some young people, they're, I am only 10, I'm going to college. Even always, there will be some responsibility. He says, if you want to wait, or I will get retired, I will finish my responsibilities, it will never happen. You will never succeed. So start early. That is why Adi Shankara said a beautiful Bhajagovindam. Balastavat krida saktaha, tarunastavat taruni saktaha, ruddhastavat chinta saktaha, parame brahmani koapina saktaha. He's telling them how we are. When you are a child, when you are a teenager, in your boy, you want to have play, you want to have some games, have good time with your friends and all that. Then once you have finished that childhood, then adolescence, you become a young man. Then you'll have a house, family, then wife, children, develop. You are busy with that. Then you become old. What happened that time? Chinta sakta. Then, my God, the pain here. I said, you become bionic. You will have the cataract surgery. Then you will color your hair, and you will have dentures. You will have new knees, new hips. So you are all completely different because your body is failing, but you don't recognize that. You need to recognize that is what is happening. So if you wait then too late, then that time you are so much pain, you can't think about God. That is why great people like Swami Vivekananda at the age of 17, he thought, Amanda, you need to start never too late, because we are old, it doesn't mean you should not, but start early possible, then your foundation will be strong. That is why don't wait, I will finish the responsibility. Some people, on the commentator was telling, who have finished my children's college, then so goes at their college finish, that is good. Then, what about them getting married, find a match? Then after that is okay, they're done deal. Their children, grandchildren. Then they want to bring up their grandchildren, babysitting them. Then, we want to send them to good school. Then grandchildren's marriage, I have to get grandchildren. Then this is a never-ending cycle. You will never be free. You will always be in pain. As long as go on, the more and more entangled. Swami said you have 2 legs first, and marriage itself 4 legs, because 2 legs and your wife. Then children, 8 legs, 4, and then you want grandchildren, then you become like a centipede, like some insects we have got. So many things you cannot move. So try to get less entanglement. The more you get entangled, you will never be free. The source of, that's why all this get. So start thinking, analyze. It is not easy. By practice we can do. There's one. Second thing important, does anybody know what he is talking about? We talked about it earlier in the Sankhya Yoga, this particular shloka. That is what Swami is explaining here. Anybody wants to say that?
Ainam Chintante Shastra.
No. Matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna samadukkada agama apayino anitya tam titichasva bharata. Here there is what? So here Lord Krishna is analyzing. Matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna samadukkada. In life, all our experiences, heat and cold, pleasure and pain, and doubt and depression, joy, all of them are only due to one thing. Matra sparshastu kaunteya. You coming in contact, senses coming in contact with the sense objects. That is the source. It gives you pleasure, at the same time will give you pain. First he is giving the analysis. Matra sparshastu kaunteya, kaunteya Arjuna. Matra sparshastu, the way you go like sitoshna samadukkada. Sukham, dukkam and sitoshna. What are the nature of these experiences? Agama payino, they come and go like passing cloud. Anitya, they are temporary. So you need to remember that these sense enjoyments will never last. They will be here today and tomorrow gone. So you need to remember that they come and go, and that is their nature. You will get sometimes pain, sometimes pleasure. That is the fact of life. So the more you interact, the more you will have more pains, more pleasures. So what is this? Tam titichasva bharata. That is why here Swami talked. The most important quality is titicha. It is not, it is a forbearance, it is equanimity. It is going to dilate on that. Because to have patience with life, something happens, okay, I take it. What happened? This is God's will, she was telling. The titicha means joyfully accept everything. Oh Lord, you are the running, you are the puppeteer, you are running the show. That is the development you should have. First, less entanglement in the sense objects, because they are going to cause those. That's the nature of that itself is a law of, like every law, Newton's law, every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Similarly, the nature of the sense objects coming in contact with the senses is you will always have this opposite, pair of opposites. So, and they will be temporary and they will come and go. So what we need to develop is, this is the nature. So I need to develop this titicha, that is the forbearance. That is the important message here. It is. So just you develop, but then that's why I said this is joy, grief, complex. Like body, mind, it is a complex. You cannot separate. What is pleasure? Swami said, pleasure is?
Interval between
two pains. This is Swami made it very simple formulas, everything. It is the interval between two pains. So sometimes, so we'll have, finish, okay, we'll have some pain. Again, okay, we'll have pleasure. Again. So you want to go beyond that. The only way to go is dwell into your real nature, which is Brahman. So that is by contemplation, being connected with God. So that is, anybody has any comments?
Often it's very difficult though.
Yeah, what is the thing? What did this Lord Krishna say? Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihete. So this Arjunas, he says, Lord, I can hold the air in my hand. You cannot hold, right? It is easy. But mind, I cannot. Chenchalam hi manak Krishna pramadi balavat trudam. Chenchalam, that means fickle, my mind, like a monkey mind. And it is very turbulent, very hard. Pramadi balavat drudam. It is so. So it's very hard. So what is the solution? Then what did Lord Krishna say? But he asked, Asamshayam Mahabaho. No doubt, my son. He didn't say, oh, you are a fool, it cannot. Assumption, no doubt it is difficult. Mano durnigraham chalam. It is very fickle and it is very difficult to control. Lord Krishna himself saying, yes, my son, it is very difficult to control the mind. It is fickle. Then solution, second part. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha gurhyate. These are the two solutions to control the mind. One is detachment, like it says, vairagya means dispassion to the worldly objects, so that you got to go on thinking about God. Automatically, you won't be involved in that. Second is abhyas, constant practice. So just whether you like it or not, constantly in the morning, think about God, practice. And ultimately, it should be throughout all the time, waking, sleeping all the time. So it should be do that, then it becomes continuously. You can. There is the whole secret is how we abhyas and vairagya. These are the two main solutions. How to do that? He was asking, very difficult to do. There are, and it is not something. There are so many great masters we have seen who have controlled the mind and mastered that. We have seen that even in all orders, Ramakrishna monks, even Swami Mission. There are so many great souls who have controlled and who are completely absorbed in God. Something question?
So there's an online question. Equanimity is defined as being unaffected by sorrows and joys. I can understand the concept of not being affected by sorrow. What does it mean that I should not be affected by joy? Should I not feel happy?
So, that's very important. So, happiness is union with God, not affected by joy and sorrow. We can think it's probably this also has feeling, but in general, we think, well, it doesn't feel joy. So, is it greater than man who is not get disturbed? It doesn't feel. But having a capacity to react to a situation, still you are unperturbed. The whole secret of life is you're like a roller coaster. When something what you want happens, you are elated. And what you don't want happens, you are low. So up and down, up and down. You have a even keel. Joy, and you can be as much happy if you are convinced that God is giving prasadam. Because you take the example, prasadam, everybody understand. We all love prasadam. Sometimes they give us something which you like, nice gulab jam or Mysore pak or pera. So you enjoy. Another time in certain places they give something which is bitter, and that some special festivals they put which is not that tasty, or something which you don't like. Sometimes even in our groups they give something. Haima says, oh, it is prasad. Then I say, okay, I will take it. So, but you take with the same attitude, because you are, once you know prasadam, you are happy all the time. Similarly, the person, he says, so-called pleasure, you should be happy in the other things too. So it's not only joy. In the joy, be happy. In the sorrow, happy. Happiness is union with God. That means you are connected to God, thinking this is His gift, this is His prasad. Then you are always happy, whether whatever happens, it doesn't matter. Because that is why you should be happy. There is nobody denies you to. But joy is a fickle pleasure. Don't have caught up in the pleasure, because whenever you are elated, natural, the law, it will, whenever something goes up, it has come down, right? Even when you're walking up the hill, then you will get down the hill. So try to be on the even keel, then you won't be go up and down. So try to avoid this roller coaster business. That is what most of the people in life are. They get excited and then have thing, and then right away they get depressed. Both are wrong for your things. So having that even keel, even mindedness. That is this whole Bhagavad Gita is about the same thing, whether it is chapter 2, Sthita Prajna, chapter 12 about Bhakta, chapter 13 about the Jnani, and 14 about Trigunatita. All of the places the emphasis is going beyond the dualities. That is the whole secret. That needs constant practice by various things, like thinking the Swami, everything is your prasad, or another way thinking this doesn't belong to me. It is I am always I'm free and Niranjana, because I'm Atma, I'm not this, but because all these things happen to body, mind, intellect, not to me. Of that analysis. Either way, you can get out. So there are jnanis good to get out that way, and bhaktas get out. This is all God's prasad. So either way, you can practice, but you should be always happy. Telling me. So whoever answered the question, you should always be happy, but don't have that thing. Even in so-called pain, also you should be happy, because there is also prasadam. That is the attitude to develop. Okay, if there are no questions, we will continue next week.